Hello everybody and welcome back to Evolving Vibes, the community for witches, pagans, spiritualists, and everybody in between. For today's video, what I thought I would do is just sort of share something with you and see what you think and if you want to try it at home. So we already know it's March 1st. We've had Valentine's Day not too long ago. And if you got roses for Valentine's Day, they're probably looking a wee bit like this right now, right? I didn't get roses. This came from the shop. Long story, but besides all that, what am I going to do with these roses now? Probably the same question you're asking yourself. Options are, you could definitely dry them and hang them up and keep them as mementos. No doubt about that. Another more common option that people do is just let them fall apart and throw them out. What I like to do is do something magically with them. So you could actually use these roses and these rose petals, dry them out and use them for your magic. However, I wouldn't be me if I didn't come up with something else for you to do with them and have some fun with it as well. So one of the things that you can actually do with it is actually make, that's right, rose oil. And the rose oil is actually really good for the skin, and we'll talk a bit about that in just a minute. But I wanted to share with you a quick and easy recipe for making your own rose oil, and how you can do it, how to go about it, and how it looks when it's all done. So stay tuned for the video, and I'll be back in just a minute, and we'll talk a little bit about rose oil and why we would want to make it. Okay, so before we get into talking about making rose oil and some of the benefits that it's going to be for your skin, let's first talk about why am I doing it now? Well, it's going to be the new moon soon. New moon, new you. So this is an opportunity for you to create this on a new moon. Not that you have to, but hey, it's going to be a new moon, so why not have a project too? However, you can create it any time of the month that you actually want. New moon, full moon, any moon. Whatever you want to do, you can do when you want to do it. I'm doing it for the new moon because it coincides with me wanting to put a video up, and I've been wanting to share videos that are quick and easy that you can actually do on your own, and this is one of them. So first and foremost, before we talk about the benefits of grapeseed oil on the skin, I want to just bring forward a couple of things. Number one, if you're allergic to roses, this isn't going to be a good idea. It's not going to work out well for you. If you're allergic to grapeseed oil, again, it is not going to work out well for you, and you probably, dare I say, definitely do not want to do this project, especially if it's going to be on you. And here's Reese. I'll be right back as I get Reese repositioned. Honey, come here. Oh, I know. She wants to show the loves. So I'm just leaving Reese on me while I talk about this real briefly. So you don't want to use it if you're allergic to grapeseed oil. You don't want to use it if you're allergic to roses. And if you're thinking about adding any type of essential oil into it, you're going to hear me talk about it some more. But definitely make sure that it's skin-friendly essential oils. Things that you use for soap, for moisturizer, anything like that, definitely. You definitely never want to use essential oils on your skin that are actually made to be used for diffusion, because that's going to be a problem. That's going to leave marks, and it's just not healthy for you or your skin. Now, the other thing to consider with all of this is if you don't know if you're allergic to grapeseed oil, take a little bit and rub it somewhere on you and see if you get any type of reaction to it. If you do, you probably want to use a different type of oil. Extra virgin olive oil is another option that you can use, and certainly safe for the skin, but it doesn't offer the same amount of benefits as grapeseed oil does, which we're going to talk about in just a minute once I get Reese situated. So I'll be right back to talk to you about some of the benefits of grapeseed oil. So first and foremost, what's my favorite oil to use in most all my oils? He asked curiously. If you've been watching the channel, you already know the answer to that, right? So my favorite oil to use is right here, grapeseed oil. You can use a lot of different oils. Definitely it's true, but grapeseed is my go-to oil. It's relatively inexpensive, and it's really good for the skin if you're actually putting on the skin. And with the rose oil, that's exactly what we're going to be doing with it. You can certainly use it as an anointing oil if you choose to, but when I'm making it, it's actually going to be made to be utilized for the skin. So what are some of the benefits of using grapeseed oil infused with roses for your skin? Well, first and foremost, I am not going to scientifically give you the chemicals that are in grapeseed oil, but what I will say is this. One of the first benefits of grapeseed oil with the skin is that it helps limit and minimize acne breakouts. It's really good for moisturizing for the skin, but it's also good to work as an anti-inflammatory, which is actually what causes acne, right? The pores get blocked. There's an inflammation, that process that happens. Next thing you know, you're trying to pinch off pimples on your face. We've all been there. So with grapeseed oil, it's an anti-inflammatory, and it works really, really well at minimizing acne breakouts. So that's one thing that you can use it for. Another really good thing with grapeseed oil on the skin is that it helps relieve dark circles that we sometimes get under the eyes. Some you might be able to see a little bit on me right now, actually, but it helps minimize that as well. Another really good thing is that it helps with skin toning. Grapeseed oil really works to tighten up your skin and make that tone so much more healthy and so much better. Coco is so excited about doing this project with me that she came on up and was like, yo, I want some grapeseed oil too. All that being said, it's a great, really great generalized moisturizer. So it's something that you can put a little dab on, rub it into your skin, get yourself moisturized, and be good for the day. It's got healing properties. It's great to an extent at helping with sun protection and preventing sun damage to the skin. Awesome for anti-aging, and it's really good if you have an oily or too much of an oily skin. It helps even that out a little bit without drying it out, which is the most important part, right? So there's a lot of benefits to grapeseed oil against the skin. Google it. I want you to Google it. Look it up, research it for yourself, become informed for yourself rather than just taking my ass word for it. And you'll see the benefits as well. All that being said, let's talk next about how we're going to make our grapeseed oil infused with roses. All right, welcome back. I just had to settle Coco down a little bit, and what you couldn't see behind the camera was Loki trying to knock the camera over. It's just been a lot of drama here while I was trying to film this video, as it normally is. So first and foremost, what you're going to need in order to make your grapeseed oil infused with roses is, of course, roses. So I've got a couple of heads of roses left, and one I've already put in a mason jar. So I'm not going to be boring, and I'm not going to bore you with the whole process of watching me take apart the roses and put them inside the jar. Just trust that I am going to do that. Just trust that once I get all my roses taken apart and put inside my mason jar, I'm going to take my oil and I'm going to put it in the jar as well. Now, the next step after I've done that is to boil some water. You don't need a lot. All you want to do is maybe boil half a pan full of water, if you will. Once you get that water boiling, what you want to do is take that water off of the flame. Me, I use a little water kettle, so once that water is boiling, it's going to shut off automatically. Once it's shut off, I'm going to fill a pan about midway up with that super hot boiling water. Then what I'm going to do is take my mason jar, which now is going to be filled with my grapeseed oil, and just plop it right down in the center of that boiling water. And I'm going to let it sit. Generally, my rule of thumb is to let it sit for 30 minutes. You do you, but more than 30 minutes just seems to have not a great effect on it. So 30 minutes seems to be the perfect length of time that I've discovered while doing this. You don't want to go less, but you definitely want to be at 30 minutes. Once you've let it sit there for 30 minutes, and this is how crazy simple this is. All you're going to do is take this out of the water, wipe it down, and put it somewhere. And you're going to let the water you're going to let the oil with the water Really, Brian? Really? Let's try this again. And I'm leaving this in just because. So you're going to take this out of the boiling water. You're going to wipe it down. You are then going to take your container that is actually filled with grapeseed oil and roses, and you're just going to let it sit for 24 hours. Once you've done that, it's done. It's ready to go. Now, two schools of thought. One thing you can do is take yourself a cheesecloth or a strainer and strain the oil out, leaving the roses behind. Some people, including myself, tend to leave the roses inside of the main container of the oil. There's nothing wrong with that either. And then you can use it. You can use it on your skin. You can use it any way you want. Long story short, with all of this, another thing that you can do is add essential oils to it. So long as the essential oils are safe for the skin, i.e. you use them for soap, they'll be fine. And you can use lavender, you can use rose, you can use frankincense, whatever one you want. And you can probably hear Coco going crazy right now just because I'm trying to do this, so she's gonna have to try to overtalk me. The joys of owning a parrot. I'll be right back. I'm back. I didn't put her in a cage, I just gave her a toy to play with because hopefully that's going to pacify her until I finish this video. But long story short, and here we go. You can add things to it. You can add essential oils to it. Whatever you... Okay, this time I'm really back. I ended up putting Coco to bed, giving her food. The life and times of a parrot daddy. So, where was I? We were talking about making rose oil using grapeseed oil. We left off with you're boiling it, wiping it down, and you can leave it in... I'll leave it just as it is for 24 hours, and then you can enjoy it. So some side thoughts with that. You can definitely use an essential oil. So long as the essential oil is skin safe and you're not allergic to it, such as any essential oil that you would use for soaps, for moisturizer, are going to be fine. I'm not going to list a myriad of different scents that you can use, but certainly you can use frankincense, you can use lavender, you can use citrusy scents, or even rose scents if you want to really make that rose smell even stronger than what it's going to be from infusing the roses in it. It's really all up to you. Now, uses, you can use it as a moisturizer during the day when you wake up and get out of the shower. You can actually use it at night before you go to bed and put it on your face, put it on your skin, and then go to sleep. It's really up to you. Certainly you can use it as an anointing oil. You can definitely use it for any type of self-love or any type of love enhancement and sex magic that you may want to do. So it's really up to you. As I always say, you do love magic, you do sex magic the way you want to do it. But understand, if you're casting a spell to make someone fall in love with you, you're basically kidnapping. I'm not sure I want to be with someone if I've kidnapped them. That's just kind of weird. But you do you. Who am I to judge? So that's it. That's how you would make it. So I'm going to go and create my oil now. And then what I'm going to do is come back after everything's done and show you the end product. And again, I'm not really big on filming the step-by-step because I don't think you really get anything out of it. Let me know in the comments though. If it's something that you want to see me doing down the road where you watch me film boiling the water, putting it in the oil, or any other type of exercise I might be doing, I'll be glad to do it. I know I sort of like skip past that when I'm watching videos on it myself, so you let me know what you think you might want to see me do for you. And that being said, let me go skip around now and get my oil made, and I'll come back with the end product so you can actually see it. And I am back. So it's been 24 hours, actually maybe an hour or two longer than 24 hours since the first half of this video. What I ended up doing when I started making this is I boiled the water and let the jar sit in that water to cool off for 30 minutes 3 times. I wanted to do 3 times, one because it's 3, and 2, I wanted to really make sure that the scent of the roses really infused itself into the oil. So this here is the product, the end product. You can see the rose petals in there, and you can see how deeply red that oil is. Now for the big test. I have not done this yet, so let's take the cover off and let's give it a smell. And that's amazing. It came out really, really, really good. It smells so perfect. I wouldn't even add an essential oil to it. It's absolutely exactly what I hoped it would be. So what am I going to do now? Well, tonight is the night of the full moon. Did I say that? Tonight is the night of the new moon. So what I'm actually going to do is put this in my windowsill, safely away from the cats, which is going to be a challenge within itself. And I'm going to let this absorb that new moon energy. New skin, new me, new changes in my life, opening up things that I want to bring into my life. So every time I use this oil, it's going to be for that. Now, what I'm going to do is use this oil as a moisturizer, of course, but I'm also going to use a portion of this oil as an anointing oil to put with part of my Magickal tubes, and I'm going to be sharing it with a couple of really close friends of mine so they too can enjoy it, which is something you can do as well. So this is my new moon rose oil. You can use different types of flowers. All up to you, right? Anything you want to do, you can definitely do. And you can definitely use roses if you choose that you want to do that. So I do hope you enjoyed the video. A couple of things I do want to make sure that I probably didn't mention because of all of the distractions that I'm actually purposely leaving inside the video so you can enjoy a little bit of what my pet dad life is actually like. My familiars sometimes can be a bit needy, as you can see, but it's all about love, and I wouldn't change it for the world. So a couple of things to keep in mind: whatever flower you're going to use, in this circumstance it was roses, be sure that it's not been treated with pesticides or any other chemicals. You want it to be organic. If you can get it out of your own yard during the season coming up, do that. But definitely make sure that it's not been treated, it's organic, it doesn't have pesticides on it. This way you don't have to worry about any other complications with your skin or with any other part of your body. And so I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know in the comments what you might do if you've ever done this before, or if you're going to try it now. Be sure to check out one of these 2 videos down below. Help grow the channel and grow the community. And I know I've already said this, but if you haven't heard this before, be sure to like, subscribe, leave me those comments, hit that notification bell, help grow the channel, help grow our community, and until next time, as always, please be safe, be well, and be blessed.